May 1945. A cold Nebraska dawn greets 412 German female POWs stepping down from a rattling train. Boots shredded, uniforms torn, faces pale, they had crossed half of Europe, expecting hatred, fear, and possibly death. Rumors of American cruelty had preceded them. They whispered among themselves, bracing for the worst. Each footstep on the gravel was heavy with dread. Every woman wondered if this journey would be her last. Instead of screams and guns, a U.S. Army band plays lively tunes. Soldiers offer blankets and hot coffee. Confused and trembling, the women exchange cautious glances. Could this be real? Could their enemies show such kindness? Liesel, 19, pulls her thin coat tighter, her heart pounding. She expects mockery or worse. But a warm voice asks if she's hungry. The smallest gesture cracks a tiny window of hope in her weary heart. Days pass, the POWs are given shelter, hygiene, and meals. Slowly, the fear that has shadowed them begins to lift. For the first time in years, they feel seen as humans, not enemies. The camp introduces a program to teach skills. Every woman can choose: baking, nursing, typing, music. Liesel hesitates, unsure if she is worthy, if she can survive learning anything. Some girls choose cooking and nutrition, kneading dough, preparing meals for the camp. The warmth of the ovens mirrors the care the Americans show, a strange comfort replacing fear. Others learn medical skills, bandaging wounds, tending to sick prisoners. The knowledge is practical, empowering. They begin to understand that survival can mean creation, not destruction. A few select typing and office skills, learning English, filing, organizing. The world beyond the war feels distant but reachable, like a promise tucked inside each lesson. Liesel is drawn to music and art. She has played piano at home but never in public. In the camp, she taps invisible keys at night, lost in memories of peace and family, feeling alive for the first time in years. Watching her is Sergeant James Callahan, a kind-faced American soldier who notices the quiet ones. He sees the fear in her eyes and begins helping her silently, bringing books, notebooks, and supplies. Liesel initially recoils. Trust has been stolen by war, betrayal, and loss. But slowly, James's presence becomes a comfort. He never pushes, never mocks. He simply watches and guards her small acts of hope. Days turn into weeks. Liesel learns English, practicing simple words aloud. Each sentence she masters is a tiny triumph. James smiles quietly when she speaks a full sentence correctly. Her confidence grows. Baking becomes her second sanctuary. Dough under her fingers, the smell of bread in the morning air. She feels she can create life, not just survive death. Each loaf she bakes is a reminder that life continues. Nursing lessons test her patience and her empathy. Liesel carefully tends to younger prisoners, bandaging scraped knees or comforting homesick girls. She feels pride, a warmth she never expected. James notices every small victory, from a timid smile to a hand raised to ask a question. He feels a protective affection he cannot explain, yet he respects her space, letting her independence grow. Slowly, the impossible begins. A connection blooms. Liesel watches James helping another prisoner and feels a flicker of emotion she does not understand. Fear mingles with curiosity and warmth. One afternoon, James gently corrects her English pronunciation. Their hands brush, a spark of awareness passing silently. Liesel looks away, cheeks flushed, confused by a feeling she has never experienced. She finds herself seeking his presence, lingering near the lessons where he supervises. He notices, but says nothing, allowing the bond to deepen without forcing it. Music sessions become magical. Liesel plays piano for the first time in months, and James listens quietly, awed. The notes echo through the camp, softening hardened hearts. Days pass in routine, learning small joys. The POWs grow stronger, more skilled. Liesel becomes proficient in baking, English, and piano, each skill a small defiance of fear and loss. James begins leaving notes for her under her music sheet. Short words, "Good job," or "You are brave." Liesel reads them with a mix of joy and trembling hope. One evening, as twilight casts long shadows across the camp, James finally speaks words Liesel has long felt. "I care about you, Liesel, more than I should." Liesel's heart races. She is silent for a moment, memories of fear and loss clouding her mind. Then she whispers, I feel the same. I think I do." The days that follow are tender. Their bond grows amid lessons, chores, and shared meals. The camp is no longer just a prison. It is a strange sanctuary where love and learning coexist. But fate is never far. One faithful morning, the camp announces transfers. The POWs will return to Germany. Soldiers will be reassigned. The joyful routine collapses into uncertainty. Liesel clutches her music notebook, tears in her eyes. She cannot imagine leaving James, nor the world she has begun to rebuild within the camp. James grips her hand tightly. "I will wait for you," he promises. "No matter how long it takes, I'll find you." They part with heavy hearts. Liesel boards the transport to Germany, carrying the skills, hope, and love she has discovered. James watches silently, feeling an ache that time cannot dull. Years pass. Liesel returns to her village, using her baking, nursing, and music to rebuild life. She marries a German officer she meets locally, practical and kind, unaware that James is searching relentlessly. James refuses marriage, refuses distraction. Every year he asks about returning soldiers, every letter from Europe a thread leading him back to her. His heart holds fast to a promise he made in Nebraska. He travels across Germany, visiting towns, villages, and old barracks. Every face is scanned, every name remembered, as if one glance could reveal the girl he loved across time and distance. Liesel lives her life, teaching baking, nursing, and music to others. Her daughter grows up surrounded by warmth and care, never knowing the secret of the American soldier who loved her mother first. One spring morning, James arrives in Liesel's town. He has followed years of clues, rumors, and whispers, finally standing before the house that holds the life she built after the camp. Liesel steps outside, carrying her daughter's hand. Her eyes widen. "James?" she whispers, a mixture of joy and shock in her voice. "Liesel, is it really you?" he asks, voice trembling. Tears stream down both faces as they embrace. Years of longing collapse in a single moment. The child tugs at Liesel's skirt, curious. "Mommy, who is this?" she asks. James freezes, heart breaking, realizing what he feared most. Liesel smiles softly, introducing her daughter. "This is our daughter," she says, voice steady. James feels a pang of pain. Love found, but life moved on without him. Heartbroken but proud, James kneels to the child. "I see, she's beautiful," he murmurs. Liesel's eyes meet his. Sorrow and gratitude mingle in a silent understanding. He cannot reclaim what was lost. The war and years apart have shaped destinies he cannot undo. But in Liesel's smile, in her daughter's hand, he sees the life he helped shape, even from afar. Liesel thanks James for everything, his care, his patience, his love. She tells him how the camp changed her, gave her skills and hope. He listens, proud yet aching, knowing his role will forever be cherished. They walk together for a moment, sharing stories, laughter tinged with tears. The past lingers, bittersweet, but the bond remains. A love that survived war, distance, and heartbreak. James leaves eventually, his promise fulfilled in ways he did not expect. He cannot be the father, but he carries the memory of first love, hope, and devotion. Liesel continues teaching, baking, nursing, and playing music. She names her daughter after small touches of hope from the camp, a living testament to the lessons learned and love experienced. In the quiet moments, James recalls the first time he saw her step off that train. Fear turned to hope, captivity to skill, strangers to love. History may have separated them, but memory and gratitude endured forever.